Thanks also to all the Irish farmers, growers and fishermen who are producing foods of the highest possible standards. Foods and ingredients that we're using in these recipes.
What we have here today is a lovely, robust, beautifully flavoured minestrone soup. I borrowed this recipe from a friend of mine, Ruth Wassel, probably 12, 14 years ago, but it's a no-brainer. And it's one of these recipes that you can use store-cupboard ingredients, kind of whatever you have in your fridge at home. So again, I'm going to come back and use my old reliable casserole dish from my grandmother Noni. I'm going to put a little bit of my rapeseed oil in there. Now, the thing with minestrone soup, it's really, because it's such a traditional Italian dish, it's just about, you know, the nourishing, beautiful, wholesome flavors, and it's really filling as well. You don't need anything else. This in itself is good enough for dinner because you've got the carbs in here, you've got your potato, we've got some pasta going in there as well, we've got some cannellini beans. But first and foremost, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fry off my bacon. So I've got some bacon lardons, or streaky rashers. Again, I want those to be nice and crispy because we've got some a good bit of heat in there. They're crisping off very, very nicely. Now, the next thing to go in here is we've got some celery, I've got some garlic, I've got some carrots, onions, courgettes, potatoes, and some leeks. So all down there. Give that a good old mix. You might find you might need a little bit more of your rapeseed oil, so a bit more rapeseed oil in there as well. And you've got the beautiful flavour from your bacon lardons or rashers. So bearing in mind they're quite salty, so just be careful about your salt content when you go to season your veg. So I'm not going to season with salt at the moment. I'm just going to go straight in there with pepper. Now, a good little trick here is to saute these for about 4 or 5 minutes at high heat, turn the heat down, and then put some greaseproof paper over the top, and then at a really low heat. And then you can add all of the other elements after about 15-20 minutes. So I actually have one pre-cooked as well. So my advice always is to have everything ready in advance if you're having friends over for dinner. I'm going to put in my, I've got some lovely vegetable stock. In we go with our vegetable stock. I've got some tinned tomatoes. In we go with our tinned tomatoes, straight in there. I've got some pasta shells. I'm just using small little kind of like, you know, pasta shells there. Straight in. I've got my cannelloni beans. This is very much a one-pot wonder. Straight in there. And I've got some curly kale to go in there as well. So that curly kale is beautiful, and it's lovely roasted off as well. So give that a good old mix. Mix that around. And this will take probably about 30 minutes to cook off. Now, as I said, I have one of these prepared already in the oven, but you can see here, it's just such a beautiful array of color, flavor, and it's a sure crowd pleaser. So I'm going to take this out of the oven. So this has just been, I've kept it warm for about 20 minutes. In we go here. And the pasta on this is bulked up, so it's absolutely beautiful. Take the lid off, and I've got a little ladle. Now, again, the important thing to do, as always, is to check the seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit more salt here. I'm going to add a little bit more pepper here. And I'm going to serve that up with some lovely grated Parmesan. So here we go. Now, I didn't put any kale into this one here, but we've got kale in there. And that's the wonderful thing. When you have guests over, it's always a good idea to find out what their likes and dislikes are, and you can add other elements at a later stage. So we have here our beautiful minestrone soup. We've got our grated Parmesan cheese. Here we go. And I'm going to finish that off with some beautiful little micro herbs, and you can serve that with crusty bread. It's absolutely divine, and I hope you really enjoy it.